the Ghostface. He's quite weak as killers go.
He just gets boiled down to a little bit of a basic M1 killer.
I feel like Ghostface is the better Myers, basically, but he's still pretty shit.
Is Ghostface really a low-tier killer? I mean, it goes without saying, yes.
So it seems like the Dead by Daylight community almost universally agrees that Ghostface is a weak killer, often placing him in the very low tiers of killer tier lists. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the buffs that I personally think would make Ghostface an overall stronger killer while keeping him fair and balanced to play against. For those that don't know who I am, I have over 35,000 markdowns as Ghostface and over 7,000 hours of total playtime in Dead by Daylight. Now let's get into the buff ideas I had. So the first buff idea I had for Ghostface is to have him gain haste while he's in Night Shroud. For those that don't remember, during the 2v8 event, Ghostface gained 10% haste while he was in Night Shroud to help him get downs on survivors and to help him get around the map faster. I think this buff could be easily added to the 4v1 game mode with a few changes to make it more balanced. I think Ghostface should gain 5% haste after being in Night Shroud for more than 10 seconds. So basically, you would activate your Night Shroud power, and then after 10 seconds, you would gain 5% haste while you're still in Night Shroud. And, just like in 2v8, if you lose Night Shroud in any way, you also lose the 5% haste that you gained from being in Night Shroud. This change would reward Ghostface players who are good at being stealthy and avoiding being revealed by survivors. This would also motivate survivor players to try to reveal Ghostface more often, especially if he's in chase with a teammate who's been marked. I think gaining haste in Night Shroud will be balanced considering Ghostface is an M1 killer whose power can be deactivated by survivors staring at him for 1.5 seconds or by stunning him in any way. The total cooldown of the haste ability would be 27 seconds without using any recovery add-ons, since you'd have to wait 17 seconds for Night Shroud to fully recharge, and then spend 10 seconds in Night Shroud to once again regain your 5% haste bonus. The next buff would be to make the add-on headline cutouts become fully base kit. This add-on increases movement speed while stalking by 40%. I think this buff is pretty self-explanatory. Having a slightly faster movement speed while stalking would make Ghostface feel overall better to play. Being able to move behind cover faster while you're stalking can help you avoid getting accidentally revealed by survivors. And I think anyone who's played Ghostface has probably had moments where they've tried to lean off of an object, but they can't due to poor surface collision or the object's hitbox being inconsistent. Making headline cutouts base kit would make up for the fact that lean stalking can sometimes be unreliable due to the aforementioned surface collision inconsistencies of certain objects. Another reason to make this add-on base kit is the fact that nobody uses it. Out of all the hours I've played as Survivor, I have literally never seen a Ghostface player use this add-on. Which is not surprising because there's absolutely no reason to use this add-on when there are so many better add-ons to choose from. It should just be made fully base kit at this point. Alright, so the third and final buff is to have Ghostface instantly recharge 25% of his Night Shroud ability after downing a marked survivor. Currently, you still have to wait 17 seconds for Night Shroud to fully recharge without the use of recovery add-ons after you down a survivor. I personally think that Ghostface players should be rewarded with a slightly shorter cooldown for successfully downing a marked survivor since they took the time to stalk and mark that survivor. Rewarding players who choose to go for markdowns will also reduce the amount of Ghostface players who try to use hit and run playstyles to win their matches. Using hit and run tactics as Ghostface is all about using your stealth to get as many easy injuries as possible, and typically doesn't involve using your ability to stalk at all. Most survivors dislike playing against hit and run killers because they have to spend tons of time healing themselves or healing their teammates. But if Ghostface were to receive all of the buffs that I've talked about, then Ghostface players would be much more incentivized to go for markdowns on survivors rather than injuries. These buffs would also incentivize Ghosty players to maximize the amount of time that they spend in Night Shroud so that they can gain their additional haste bonus to help them get downs on marked survivors. Basically, more people would play Ghosty in the way that he was designed to be played, further cementing his identity as a stealth killer who uses his power to stalk and instantly down survivors, while also further differentiating him from other killers with similar abilities like Michael Myers. And that's it. I genuinely believe these three buffs are all that Ghostface needs to be an overall stronger killer while also keeping him balanced. Dead by Daylight is a game that's constantly changing and evolving, so it's very likely that Ghostface will need more buffs in the future in order to help him keep up with the changes that continue to be made to the game. With that being said, let me know what you thought about these ideas in the comment section. And also, let me know what buffs or changes you personally would like to see made to Ghostface. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.